So imagine that, right? Like going to Egypt in 2012 when everybody in the world said don't go to Egypt. The governments were issuing warnings, travel warnings, severe travel warnings for nobody to travel to Egypt. And here's my brother going to Egypt to see me because I was living there, right? And he rocks up at the airport and he gets given a note, okay, by my driver, okay? So there's this guy in his Galaveya, okay, in his Arabic outfit, okay, handing my brother a note saying, come with me, I'm going to take you to see your brother at the next checkpoint. What the fuck is going through his head at that stage? How much trust did he have to put into me to be able to go with that guy, right? It's insane. And I look back at it now and laugh. My brother and I tell this story now because it's actually quite funny, and it was a huge turning point for me. But it was crazy that I was actually sitting at the checkpoint in just my singlet and my boardies, surrounded by these guys with M16 guns, with their helmets on, their bulletproof vests, ready to go to war, looking like proper Marines. And I just pop up, walk over to the car in my boardies and thongs and say, hey bro, how you going? Let's go to my place, okay? And we drive back to my house and it's night time and he's looking around the place like, what the fuck, like where is my brother living? I was living in this like shack, right? My family and my brother I was living in a Osama bin Laden shack, because it was just these thin wall buildings with basically nothing in them. And that's where I was living. And I was making $20 a day, okay? So I was scuba diving, making on average about $20 a day. And because I wasn't earning much, I had to get another job. And I was making about $1.50 an hour working behind the bar. But the cool thing about being behind the bar was I actually got food, okay? So here I am living in Egypt, and whilst I had a little bit of fun there, okay, and after my brother visiting and knowing what was going through his head and thinking like, what the fuck is my brother doing? It didn't even come into my awareness of what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Living in Egypt, getting paid next to nothing, scraping off the bottom of the barrel and not eating good food, not treating my body very well, drinking alcohol, partying, living like a sloth, okay? And the reason for that is because I was running away, right? I was running away from what people call reality, okay? I was running away from having to go back home and be a plumber again, working 60, 70-hour work weeks, because I knew I couldn't sustain that life. That wasn't me, especially when I was driving to work, and more often than not, I would fall asleep at the wheel and the car would veer off the highway until you hit those bumps, okay, which is like a wake-up call. But it took me so long to be able to get that actual wake-up call. And what that wake-up call was when I was at the bottom and I was living in Egypt, and I realized that things needed to change. Like, I sat down and I looked at my life and I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what am I doing with my life? So at that point, Egypt is what changed me incredibly and helped me grow to where I'm at today, because I sat down and realized I hadn't been working towards my goals. Like, I realized that I was just doing the monotonous, and I was gonna kill myself if, like, being a plumber, by driving to work and being too tired and actually not living to my true human potential. So I had to sit down and write down what my goals were, and I realized that I wanted to travel, and to do that I'm probably going to have to make some money online. So I literally jumped on Google and I googled how to travel the world and make money online, and things started popping up at me, and I started gravitating towards that and building my own startups, okay, doing travel blogging, making money online. And through this whole journey, okay, I learned so much about online business, and it wasn't such a simple journey. Like, I failed time and time and time again. Like, my travel blog, most people think it succeeded. Sorry guys, it failed. It was a good travel blog and it gave amazing information, and thank you everybody for loving that, but it failed what I wanted to achieve, okay? And then I started my own startups as well. I failed as well. And I got to a point where, buying online businesses actually worked for me. And it was all because of where I was in Egypt. Okay, that was the actual massive turning point, because I literally typed in Google how to travel the world and make money online. And through that process, I learned so much. Okay, in saying that, on top of how hard it was, I was still plumbing, trying to make this work for myself. Okay, so I was still grinding, trying to get out of that grind so I could achieve what I wanted to achieve. Okay, and it was because living in Egypt and living in that position where I was partying, my body was looking like crap, I was feeling like crap, and I was living like crap. Like, I wasn't eating good food, I was living in a shitty little shack, and I just wasn't really living. I was just existing, and I was running away from what I didn't want to go back to. Okay, and it was because that point, that realization, that actually changed my life in amazing ways. If I hadn't jumped on Google and done that and typed in how to make money online and travel the world, I wouldn't have 4 online businesses. I wouldn't be able to travel around the world and make money without having to work. Okay, I wouldn't be able to afford the things that I want to afford. Okay, be financially free, go anywhere and live in the world. I wouldn't be able to help people the way I've helped myself. I wouldn't be able to change lives the way I'm changing lives now, okay, through what I've learned, if I had stayed in that position. Okay, and it's amazing to see that through one little instance, your life can change like that. Okay, so through one realization that your life can change in amazing ways when you actually make the decision to step up and commit to yourself.